Growing up, reading was my passion. Books were my escape into a world that went beyond my front door. I loved her books. I read I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings I don't know how many times before I was an adult. From the time I opened the first page and What You Looking at Me For? Didn't come to stay, only came to say Happy Easter Day, struck me because I was a Black girl, just like Maya Angelou, growing up in the church, being raised by my grandmother, doing Easter pieces. Imagine growing up and getting to become friends, not just friends, sister, daughter, mentor to Maya Angelou. Unimaginable to me that that would happen. I would now say that she is one of the greatest influences in my entire life. She is like a mother to me, a sister to me, a friend to me, has been a great mentor for me. And I have sat at her table, sat at her feet, sat on the side of her bed, sat on her floor, listened to her words of wisdom for years. And I remember the very first time I went to visit her, I could not believe, it was one of those out-of-body things. I could not believe I am in Maya Angelou's house. I grew up, it just makes me tear to think about it. I grew up reading her books. She was like the biggest rock star in the world to me. And now I'm sitting in her house. And you know the first thing she did? She cooked a meal for me and she read me poetry. I sat at her feet and she read Paul Laurence Dunbar to me out loud. Unbelievable. And I was telling her my life story and sharing with her some of the mistakes I'd made in my 20s. And I shall never forget, in that moment, she said to me, that was when you're 20, and now you're in your 30s. When you know better, you do better. It's one of the great lessons of my life that I loved so much, I wanted to share it with our viewers. And not only did I share it, every time I got a chance to say those words, I did. Exactly 43 times.
Maya Angelou had said this to me once, and I was talking about mistakes I had made in my youth. And she was saying, you did in your 20s what you knew how to do. And when you knew better, you did better. And you should not be judged for the person that you were, but for the person that you're trying to be and the woman that you are now.
I started selling drugs for a little while. I got caught up doing that, but I'm not even...
And when you know better, you do better.
Right.
Right. So, Ellen, as their mother, why did you keep all of this a secret?
I felt it would protect my girls. If I had had him arrested, they would have to tell over and over at that point. I wanted to keep the friendship.
Well, this is the interesting thing, and when you know better, you do better.
That's all anybody can do is
speak from what they know.
That's right.
And when you know better, you do better, Dennis.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Do you know how freeing those words are? How freeing they can be for you? What it means is you don't have to hold yourself hostage to who you used to be or anything you ever used to do. Because who has lived and hasn't made mistakes? When I think about my 20s and what a foolish girl I was and how I would give over my power to men who really didn't mean me well, but now I hold no grudges against them either because I realized I'm the one who gave over the power because I didn't know any better. And now that I know better, I know I don't have to do that again. It's one of the most powerful lessons any of us can ever know.